The Tiguan has been often overlooked in the crowded compact SUV segment, even though it's VW's best-selling vehicle in the US. It's not bad, but it's not great either. But for 2025, VW is trying to position the new Tiguan as a premium choice in a segment that, while practical, doesn't offer a whole lot of luxury. As for Kia, for 2026 model year, the Sportage has been significantly redesigned, trying to tame its front fascia. With a refresh focused on tech and style, the Sportage continues to lean on its spacious interior, generous list of standard features, and a solid value to make it a competitive player. But which one is a better buy? In this video, we'll compare both SUVs' designs inside and out, pricing and how they drive. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. The front fascia is a complete departure from the current model, with a redesigned grille that's larger than the previous generation, flanked by two large air inlets and new headlights that are slimmer and less angular, rounding out a really handsome front end. From the side, there are no sharp lines compared to the previous generation, with subtle sculpting through the door panels. The wheel arches, however, have been made slightly more angular with a squircle shape. As for wheels, it comes standard with 17 inches, with 18s, 19s, and 20s optional. All wheel options have been redesigned. Out back, again, it's been completely redone, featuring a massive light bar that spans the entire width of the tailgate, connecting new slimmer taillights while also illuminating the VW logo. The bumper has also been completely redesigned, mirroring the front grille's design. From the side, not much has changed, and that's totally fine. The Sportage already has a great looking side profile, so that really didn't need any updates. As for wheels, it comes standard with 17 inches, with 18s and 19s optional. Out back, it sees even smaller. From the side, not much has changed, and that's totally fine. The Sportage already has a great looking side profile, so that really didn't need any updates. As for wheels, it comes standard with 17 inches, with 18s and 19s optional. Out back, it sees even smaller changes, mainly revised taillight styling with more vertical elements, in addition to smaller tweaks to the lower parts of the bumper to make the back end seem wider than it was in the previous generation. While the new Sportage looks more futuristic and just more palatable, the new Tiguan somehow looks better here. Instead of the old model's somewhat basic design, this generation is completely new. There is a layer of luxurious materials that extends from one door across the dash and to the other door to provide the cabin with a sense of coziness. Heck, VW even decided to add some American walnut wood trim to the dash to further spice things up. One downside is that there is a lot of shiny piano black trim that you'll have to keep clean, but within it is ambient lighting that illuminates in a cool graphical effect with up to 30 different colors. Then there is the screens. Gone are last year's tiny 6.5 or 8-inch screens in favor of a new 12.9 inches display for low trims or a full 15 inches on higher-end models. A 10.3-inch digital driver display is now standard across the line. The new screens are a big change from the 2024 model, so they had to redesign the whole dashboard. The vents are now slimmer, but the worst change is that the physical climate controls are now integrated into the screen, which is a downgrade from the previous model. On a good note, however, is that the steering wheel controls are now actual buttons instead of a capacitive. Another helpful addition is a rotary knob sitting between the front seats that can switch from adjusting the stereo volume and driver mode settings. The new system is great with sharp graphics and a responsive interface with both Apple CarPlay and Android Auto standard. As for the Sportage, this generation is more refined. The dash now has a cleaner look that ditches the vertical air vents in favor of horizontal ones that blend better within the dashboard, in addition to a new flat-edge steering wheel replacing the previous model's round 3-spoke one. Personally, the steering wheel is the only change to my eyes that's a downgrade to a really good-looking cabin. As for instruments and infotainment, a new panoramic display now features dual 12.3-inch displays combined into a single panel that curves slightly towards the driver. These are now standard on every trim instead of being optional on the previous year's model. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard and now can integrate into a new 10-inch head-up display. As far as interiors go, the Tiguan just blows the Kias out of the water not only in looks, but also in its tech offering. When it comes to interior and cargo space, the new Tiguan is slightly longer than the previous model at 187 inches, and while the seats are all new with more aggressive thigh and shoulder bolsters, they can feel a bit hard for longer journeys. The back seats are just as spacious with plenty of head and legroom, with the center seat integrated an armrest as standard. Cargo space is also decent, with around 30 cubic feet available with the rear seats up, or 59 with them folded flat. As for the Sportage, the front seats are good with ample side support and it's easy to get comfortable behind the wheel with similar space to that in the Tiguan. The second row is spacious too, with comfy cushions and fantastic overall space, but with slightly more legroom compared to the VW. As for cargo space, it's quite a bit larger than the Tiguan at 40 cubes with the seats up, folding flat, and you get 74 cubic feet. As far as pricing goes, the 2025 Tiguan S starts at $29,500 and stretches all the way to $41,200. But the trim level to get is the SE, which combines a good mix of equipment and price, but it doesn't look anywhere near as good as the R-Line models. It includes newly redesigned 19-inch alloy wheels, power tailgate, a power driver's seat, dual-zone climate controls, and remote start. Pricing for the 2026 Kia Sportage is expected to start around $29,500 and go up to $41,000, but the mid-range EX offers the best bang for the buck, adding desirable features such as dual-zone climate control, wireless phone charging, and heated front seats. The premium package is also a very worthwhile option, adding a panoramic sunroof, LED interior lighting, and a power liftgate. As you can tell, there is not much difference in terms of cost, so which one you end up choosing will mainly come down to styling and how they actually drive. When it comes to on-road performance, under the hood of the 2025 Tiguan is a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that has been revised that now makes 201 horsepower, up from the previous generation's 184. This new Tiguan hits a sweet spot in its dimensions, because it's big enough that you get a spacious interior, but it's not so big that it's intimidating to drive around the city. Visibility is pretty good, and you sit high for a commanding view of the road ahead. The comfort and refinement largely continues out on the highway, where the Tiguan is quiet at higher speeds. The suspension continues to deal with bumps well on the whole here, but there is some road noise to contend with, especially on the top-spec model with 20-inch alloy wheels. Lower trims are a bit quieter. The 2026 Sportage, a 2.5-liter naturally aspirated inline-4, producing 187 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque. This engine simply doesn't have the vigor to move this SUV with a design oomph, but once you're up to speed, it's fantastic on highways and city roads alike. There is enough give to the sidewalls and the 19-inch tires to take the sting out of bigger bumps, while the suspension's dampening is finely judged, smoothing out any unwanted nastiness. It's also impressively quiet, with very little road or wind noise making its way to the cabin. The brake pedal is also pleasantly progressive despite featuring hybrid regeneration. Typically, handling isn't that important in a compact SUV purchase, but the Sportage actually handles pretty good. It has a nice natural steering curve and great feedback from its assisted rack. The steering weighs up nicely in corners and never feels too disconnected, almost surprising in an otherwise ordinary car. Here is the long and short of it. Both SUVs are very attractive in their own rights, but the new Tiguan not only fixed what it lacked in the last year's model, this new generation just goes above and beyond anything in its segment, not only in design, but both in refinement and driver engagement alike, which makes it the winner in this comparison.